Hey, if you're watching this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am trying out a good number of different styles when it comes to these particular videos for Arknights. So if you like this one, feel free to leave a comment on that. If not, feel free to kind of give me a little bit of things you would probably like to see. I am taking as much feedback as possible for these particular videos now, as I'm trying to figure out how you guys would like to have these done. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and dive into the reason you guys are all here. Undertides, the next Arknights event, and normally it just seems like a normal, everyday new event that comes from Arknights. However, this one is a little bit different, and for one specific reason. Dancing Scotty! Yep, I really wanted Scotty for this one. Just for that. I know Calcit's also there too, and I will also say that after 100 some pulls, I managed to get both of them, and I think probably about 20 copies of Fakafuyu. Anyway, with the gacha pretty much quickly covered there, I'll go ahead and get into the main reason you guys are here for this particular video. And that is going through the event stages itself. Anyway, as you guys saw by the title, or if you were looking at the thumbnail, you might know that I'll be doing these particular stages with a wheel deciding my particular fate. The wheel will simply be determining which class that I will be forced to use, and only that class alone. It'll be up to me to work with those particular units and try to clear the stage itself. Now, I'm going to also say this will just be a clear. It does not need to be a full clear, because I actually ran into that problem later on. I'll get to that, don't worry. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in with the first stage, the easiest one out of them all, and the wheel decides to give me Guardknights? Really? Guardknights. Well, this will be a very easy stage in the first place. I think the other thing I should probably mention is I'm a bit of an idiot. I used 2 E2'd 6 stars on this first level for some reason. I could have just used Bee Hunter. Why didn't I just use I could have just used Bee Hunter on this stage. I'm pretty sure I would have gotten away with it too. I can at least say that I'm not as dumb as some of the enemies in this particular level. I mean, ooh, don't even get me started on them. Is that oh, that is an Darwinism. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I spent more time being confused by these particular enemies than actually paying attention to the actual mobs on this map entirely. Where are you two going? Not that it matters, because I'm using 2 6 stars for some reason. Why? Bee Hunter. Anyway, as you would expect with 2 really good guards on Guardknights for the first map, this map wasn't that hard at all. So we'll go ahead and move on to the tutorial stage. Yes, do it. No, do it. Thank you. Now, I will say that the nervous impairment is kind of an interesting mechanic, I guess. It does make it to where you can't just block everything and hold the line. It's kind of a playstyle that I used to use a lot, and still kind of to this day to a degree. Anyway, I spent, I think, most of the time... No, please, not Beagle. Don't send the tentacles at Beagle, we don't need this. Why did I say these lines? I can already hear somebody clipping the click button down on the bottom of this YouTube video. Oh boy. Beagle was fine. The tentacles didn't do anything to her. No, just editor, cut that. Cut. Editor, no. Editor, no. Please, just stop before I could already hear the clicking. On to the second stage to begin with. And with the second stage, we do have Defenderknights. We went from characters that are incredibly high attack to now characters that have very low attack. I guess we can go from one side of the spectrum to the other very quickly. I'm actually kind of glad that Defenderknights happened on this particular stage, because there are aerial units in this game, and I don't think there is a defender that can attack aerial aside from Liskarm. Anyway, not having the crazy high damage attacking power that, well, defenders very much lack, made it very annoying to have to deal with the new mechanic, especially since the operators can't drop mobs quickly and have to deal with the nervous impairment. I actually almost leaked this particular run, but thankfully dropped your boy Hung to hold some of the peeps down for a bit. I used Hung. It's on my autoplay. Help me. Anyway, it probably would have helped if I brought Maria and Earl around on this stage, but clearly, considering the first stage, I haven't really thought things through so far. Off to a great start, me. Anyway, with that minor issue handled, map cleared without much overall stress, and we can move on to the third stage. Now, the third stage actually was very interesting map-wise, but what made things even more interesting was what the wheel gave me. Vanguardknights. Oh boy. See, I originally thought that the few ground tiles that we had on this stage were going to be the downfall of this run. There weren't a lot and they were kind of close to get each other. Now, I would say that this map wasn't actually too bad, until I realized that there were drones. And I'm running Vanguard only. Yeah, I think we have the nervous impairment. Wait, there's drones. That might be a problem. Please cross. Oh god, I am so glad that I have leveled Chave, Texas, and Beanstalk to even have a remote chance at this. If I didn't have them, I don't know if this would have been possible for me. But I will say, it wasn't just as simple as having them here on the stage and using them. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a yike. Rip. I was not expecting to run into trouble this quickly in the challenge set. This actually took me a few runs to figure out the correct way. Now this did, however, take some pretty serious timing to be able to pull it off, though. Oh no! Okay, I wasn't paying attention on that one. It is very much doable, though. It is doable. Oh my god, it's doable. Beanstalk's positioning is also very important. This combined with Elysium's monitor, Zima's buff, and the timing on Texas and Chave's air attacks were pretty much what were needed to pull the easy W here. Anyway, with that minor issue resolved, I managed to get the W on this one, and we can move on to the next stage. Yes! 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 Stage 4. Looks like an interesting stage. I wonder what the wheel's going to give me. Let's... Guardknights. Okay, before anyone gets any more worried that this is just going to be a series of Guardknight attempts, I went ahead and made a rule right here and then that I was not going to allow myself to do another repeat of a previous class until the remaining classes have been done. In other words, this meant that I can't repeat a class until the 9th fight. So whatever my 9th battle was going to give me is going to be the class that will be pretty much duplicated after this one. As painful as this will be later on, you guys will figure that out very quickly. Anyway, this map wasn't exactly that hard. Then again, it's Guardknights. Aerial units were in play, but Laughlin and Thorns will be definitely able to handle that. I did bring Chen along to give Thorns the SP over time to get his second skill use quickly. Now, I know I used Surtur here, but it's on S1, not S3. Don't worry, I don't need that much power. Now, I did bring Utage along to help draw the fire of the aerial units just in case I didn't have to worry about nervous impairment, but that didn't turn out to be much of a problem in the first place. But it was a nice, backup plan in case I needed it. Oh, and I found something kind of funny about the chapel horn the more I thought about this particular stage. Hey, editor me, can you go back on that particular part where they smacked the drone and replaced it with a Taco Bell sound effect? Please do that. I'm not at the point where I'm tired enough yet to actually just go into this meme mindset, so you guys can get to enjoy that one a little bit. Anyway, thanks to Guardknights making this rather trivial, the stage cleared, and that was all for the 4th stage. Guardknights, we may not see you again until sometime later. Anyway, on to stage 5, and what does the wheel give me for this one? Casterknights. Can I even Casterknights this? I wonder. Casterknights. I will say I had a pretty good laugh getting this particular one. Okay, actually, I will say one thing out of this. This is the one map that has an Ifrit lane, so I'm actually going to kind of laugh at that. Look at this Ifrit lane. That's perfect. At the same time, I'll also be pretty honest here. My caster roster is quite lacking. I do have a handful of pretty leveled casters as well as a handful of E2s, but not enough to really have the full advantage here. I was also missing, I think, 1 or 2 casters from my roster, so I didn't have the ones that would have really helped out here a lot. Now, I will say this map on Casterknights only is, I don't want to say a pretty good challenge for those looking for one right now. I will say that the real puzzle is just the first 20 to 30 seconds though. You don't have a lot of DP to stop the fast rush at the start here, so you'll have to figure out how to manage that. I think once you figure that out though, it should be relatively easy to work with. This challenge took a lot of tries for me to figure out, especially since I lacked the blocking power that Beeswax can give with her Spire. I just don't have Beeswax. She's one of the few operators I'm dying to get right now, and I think she's actually on the next banner, so probably see I'm going to try to get her here. What I will say that's interesting about my particular clear here is that my stat required the use of Durin. It's interesting that a 2-star was what got me the victory here. Oh, also, don't deploy Ifrit early. The aerial units will have a field day with her. I also did have Nightmare and her healing mode on, and that actually did save Absinthe quite a bit here. It's nice, especially considering the lack of medics on this particular strategy. And I I also learned what happens when you attack the big boys.
He's mad. Oh, oh god, he booking. Oh lord, he coming. Oh lord, he's coming. Look at him go. Oh boy. Here comes the man.
Now, I'm going to say this, with how weak my caster roster is, I don't think I could pull off a 3-star clear. That said, I know you can, since a friend of mine was able to once I told him about this particular challenge. Nonetheless, with my backline being held by Absinthe, Fiella, and Nightmare, I had to figure out how to get Ifrit out without dying to the aerial units. And that came from one particular 2-star, 12F. Dodgy Boy and Nightmare's healing were what allowed me to be able to keep her up and running. Now, granted, 12F isn't the best choice, granted, because he's AoE, and that led to one minor problem that I didn't consider at first.
Oh, we vanguard the man. Oh lord, he coming.
Despite all that, I still found that I had one last problem. Those big boys that I have been alerting and having to fight with during this particular stage, well, they have S-Res. And I'm doing Casterknights. So there were a few times where they were just tanky enough to get through to the finish line and kill the run. I had to figure out a way to handle that, so I had to rely on a very unusual skill combination to make the difference. Granted, I don't have Ifrit at E2, so she's already using S2 to begin with. I decided to resort to Kyobe using S3. Now, the two of them combined did well to shut down the bigger monsters, and actually given me the actual victory here. I also said that the last guy took forever to move. I wanted to retreat somebody so I could get him to move quicker and end the run, but I didn't want to risk him scoring with just not having the strong DPS that I could have had. Nonetheless, map finished, stage 5 done, another day, another challenge, and on to the next one. Stage 6, this looks like a very interesting map, and what does the wheel give me for this one?
Specialistknights? What do you mean? Is that doable? Is Specialistknights doable?
Despite me being somewhat concerned that this was not possible, I will say this was actually another really good challenge on this one. I will say it is weird at the beginning to have to block using fast redeploys, and that all the more was enhanced by the fact that we didn't have the DP to get some of my more sturdier Block 2 specialists out for the blocking instead. And then there was the other problem of the new big boy. Yes, this behemoth, this AoE on HP threshold enemy was quite the hassle to deal with. Not to mention, them combined with aerial units made this challenge all the more difficult with having to block and try to take out air units at the same time. Now I will say with the big boy I did try to use Jay first, and for the most part he did rather well, especially once his skill was running. However, the nervous impairment is what kept him from completely taking them out, so I had to resort to using a second person there as well. Now, there is a few other problems with using Jay, but I'll get into those later on. I'll also say that I realized very quickly that somebody was missing from my roster.
I forgot Cliffheart. Why do I not have Cliffheart? Why did I not grab Cliffheart? What am I thinking? What am I doing?
Yeah, bringing Cliffheart would have been nice. She's E2 and you have a full mastery on her S2. That would have been a good thing to think about, me. Anyway, having regrouped and brought Cliffheart around this time, I went back to try it again. I decided to take advantage of Robin's deployables. Those would have been nice, but... yeah, they didn't help a whole lot at all. Jay also presented another problem with just how he works on DP drain. I don't have a Vanguard unit, so there's no way for me to out-generate the DP lost from Jay himself. So I had to be very strategic on when I needed to use him. The other problem was that I also realized that I needed to bring a lot more anti-air type units. So I ended up having to rely on somebody I didn't think I would have to rely on. Frost from the Rainbow Six collab. Combining her with Robin and Cliffheart was actually enough anti-air for me to work with. I will also say I don't know why it took me so long to switch my fast redeploys to my Block 2 specialists instead. Maybe it was partially because of DP issues. I don't know, I don't know why I didn't do this. I think there was actually a few times I had enough DP, I just didn't think about it in the first place. I have tunnel vision. It happens. Anyway, once I got it down to the home stretch, I realized how rough this was going to be, because now there were 3 of the bigger dudes. Now their AoE, oh boy, the AoE is a massive threat to ranged ops, especially if they're close enough. That became a major problem, and I had to figure out how to approach that problem overall. Thankfully, some clever planning and DP management allowed me to address them a lot more effectively, and gave me the easy clear here. I'll go ahead and let you guys enjoy this run with no commentary, so you can just see exactly how it went. Keep in mind, it's still a little bit messy, so I hope you can forgive that a little bit.
Let them get the drop on you. Laying out the welcome mat. Laying out the welcome mat. Setting barricade.
Yes! Oh man, that was actually kind of hard. Holy crap. And with that, stage 6 is finished, and we can move on to stage 7. Now, stage 7 was selected by the wheel to give me Sniperknights. I'm gonna be honest, I was actually a little bit scared at first because of just how few ranged tiles there were on this particular map. But then I realized this map actually wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad at all. Platinum was actually able to do a really good job holding down the left side. And once her skill was ready, she pretty much took almost everything down without much difficulty. I did have to bring in some punching bags to take some blows, that way Platinum would never go down. I did make one mistake on this particular map, and that was the direction of Ambriel and Firewatch. I believe I corrected this a lot later on. Overall though, this map was surprisingly easy with Sniperknights, despite looking like it was going to be rough with the few tiles that they actually had left. I'll let you guys kind of see how it went, but keep in mind it's still going to be a little bit sloppy because I think this was actually my second run.
I'm all stocked up. Target spotted. この時、ゆっくりとあなた方の命を蝕みますね。聞いてるよ。Ready to go. I'm all stocked. Stay clear of the blast. I'm all. 毒薬の準備が整いました。問題ないわ。射撃開始。私のことはおかまゆっくりでいいよ。はいはい、ここでたっぷり休ませてもらうわ。ついてきて。指令を。悪くない位置取りです。3つ数える間に投稿のチャンスをあげる。
I legitimately thought that was gonna be terrible, but it actually ended up not being too bad. Ooh, rock. Rocks.
Alright, on to stage 8. Oh boy. Nonetheless, we'll move on to the last class that I have not done yet, and the wheel chose it. Supporterknights. I'm gonna be honest and also say that my supporter lineup is much like my casters, extremely limited. Mostly because of kind of bad priorities, I guess. I don't have Suzerain fully E2'd, so I know I'm probably about to get crucified for that. But let's go ahead and see if I can do it without Suzerain. I knew going into this though that my best characters were going to be summoners, so we'll have to take advantage of them to the best of my ability. I'll also say, Scotty Alter on S2 and Deep Color on S1 with her tentacles, they actually work really well together. If you combine both the two operators as healing, they actually make the tentacles extremely tanky. It's kinda disgusting. Having Glaucus to bind mobs and slow them down also helped with a lot more of crowd control and getting more time to plan things out and figure out where to put my summons. This run overall went pretty well the first time, and then I thought I could do it the second time around. I got distracted watching Scotty dance. And there's all the mobs. Look at them go. If you ever watch me play CC, you will see that I do this a lot. It's just very, very, very normal. Anyway, after recovering from that slight failure, I went and retried it again and was able to actually get it to work. The map itself wasn't too hard to deal with, so I'll go ahead and let this one play so you can all see how I particularly did this one, despite it still being a little bit sloppy.
Death by tentacles. Yes! Or wait, no, that was Glaucus actually with the kill.
Last but not least is the boss stage, and this is the one that I could pretty much have really any class that I could potentially play with. And let's see what the wheel gives us this time around. Casterknights. Casterknights. Okay, no, I am not going to lie here. It did not work. I spent probably about 2 hours trying to figure out what strategy I needed to do to get it to work, and it just could not work at all. My limited roster, the sheer cost of all the casters with the limited DP generation that I did have, the damage that the boss does to more than one target at a time made it extremely difficult to keep operators fielded. It was just not a challenge that I think I could have done. I even gave it a good attempt and tried it on Sniperknights, the other variant that also could have potentially done it if this would have worked, but nope, no luck. I just couldn't. The main DPS character that I have, Schwarz, was not actually able to take care of it. She just could not stay alive long enough with her S3 to be able to do much damage. I spent probably about 4 hours trying to figure out a way to get this problem to be solved, be it with both Casterknights and Sniperknights, and I just could not get it working. So I had to throw in the towel. I'm going to admit that. So I did still clear it, and I did it in a way that I think everyone will at least say that it makes sense. I was able to succeed with this map on Vanguardknights. So I'll go ahead and let you guys watch how that one went. So enjoy that.
戦場に出たと死ぬ覚悟決めろ。当然一戦じゃねえ。ワクワクしてきたぜ。問題ないよ。これで分かったでしょ。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。準備はここを通さないよ。命令を。当然勝利か。余っている。俺様のワクワクしてきたぜ。
Now, I will go ahead and say that it is entirely up to you if you guys want to consider me winning this challenge or not, but I do say that overall it was still a really fun one to do. I honestly thought that it was not going to be possible on some of the stages, but hey, I managed to pull it off and I'll take what I can get. But in all seriousness, though, this was a really fun challenge to do. I didn't actually think it would be this entertaining for me personally, but hey, it really just goes to show how you can really figure out your own strategies and making things work. I guess in a way it's kind of like CC. You're kind of having to play with what cards you're dealt. Probably the best way to work about that, to be honest with you. Alright, well, and with that is going to be all 9 of the stages for now. Hope you guys did enjoy this particular challenge series. And honestly, I would say give it a try yourself. If you want to try this out using the exact same restrictions that I had for each of the particular stages, feel free to do so. I still think that the 5th mode with Casterknights and the 6th map with Specialistknights were probably 2 of the more interesting ones to try out. So, best of luck if you do give these a shot, but other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video that I do. Once again, I am trying out a series of different styles for these particular videos, so feel free to give me some feedback and let me know if you liked this style or not. But until then, I will see you guys all again real soon.